One of the most common mistakes we see a lot of players make is that they're losing their balance during their forehands and backhands. Now there's lots of different ways of losing your balance, but the one we're going to talk about today is a consequence of your stance. So what we see with a lot of players is they're setting up for the ball with a very closed sideways stance, and now as they're hitting, they're rotating their leg through, causing them to lose balance. Now the key point here is the foot stance that those players use prevents them from keeping balance throughout their shot. So if we're taking a look at the stance here that I just showed, if a player has their left foot pointed pretty much to the side and has the right foot closer to the backhand side than the left foot, and they're using upper body rotation correctly, they will lose balance over to the right because the right foot does not enable them to keep balance throughout the rotation. So what we have to do in order to keep balance throughout our shot is we have to make sure that our right foot enables us to keep that balance throughout the rotation. So how do we do that? If I take a step more forward, my left foot pointing a little bit more towards the right net post, and I keep my right foot more in line with my left or even a little bit further over here, which essentially opens up my stance a little bit, now I can rotate through the shot and keep my balance without having to take another step. So this is extremely important if you're using a closed stance, because that little bit of a loss of balance has two effects on your body. Number one, you're rotating your hips, which means it makes it much harder for you to become accurate with your shots. And number two, because we're losing balance over here, we now have to take an extra step back to the middle, which makes recovery much harder when we're a bit closer to the sidelines. Obviously, that effect is not as big if you're closer to the middle. So try to keep your stance a little bit more open by keeping your right foot a bit closer to the single sideline on your forehand side, so you can rotate through your shot without losing your balance in the process. Now the same thing applies to your backhand side as well. If I'm stepping very much sideways here and I keep my left foot closer to the single sideline on the forehand side in this case, and now I try to rotate, my rotation will pull my leg through, which means again I'm losing balance, I'm losing accuracy, and I make it much harder for myself if I'm closer to the sideline to recover after my shot. So keep your stance a bit more open, keep your right foot on the backhand a bit more pointing forward, your left foot a little bit closer to the sideline on your backhand side, so you can make sure that you're keeping your balance throughout the shot without falling over to the right or left.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon.